Hey FishTube, I'm Steven. I'd like to show you some of my aquariums. At the moment I have 9, but let's just start with 1 today. Here's my first 40 breeder. It's a display tank. It sits in my living room. My wife and I first set it up back in August 2019. We were getting back in the hobby after many years, but we knew the basics at least. Now, did it look like this in the beginning? No, it looked like this. Colored gravel, pretty ornaments that made no biological sense, and a smattering of live plants, just to see what would happen. I really started getting into the plants though. So this evolved over the last 15 months to what it is now. We have a Fluval 3.0 light, a Seachem fluorite substrate, CO2 injection, and daily fertilizing. Okay, let's talk about what's in here, like fish. We've got the bronze and emerald Corydoras, dwarf rainbows, the Melanitania Macculochi, those, Australian rainbows, angelfish, Otocinclus, Rosy Tetra, oh, and snails, some of them on purpose. Sad to say the Rosy Tetra population is down to just 3 after a nasty bacterial infection attacked just the Tetra. Still not sure what I'll do with these 3, whether I'll rehome them or increase their numbers again or whatever. So the angelfish, they were purchased young. I'm thinking both are males. It's weird, they do spar a lot, but they also act like BFFs, always hanging out together. No injuries so far, so I'm not sure if I should just let them be or move on to another tank. Don't want to cause no fishy depression or loneliness, you know. I do about a 40% water change every week, which keeps the nitrates around 20 parts per million. Yeah, it's a little overstocked, but not unmanageable, you know. Alright, so equipment. As I mentioned, the Fluval 3.0 light, it's an awesome light, which is all I can really say. I don't have any experience with the super high-end lighting brands, though. Speaking of brands, I have no sponsors, obviously, just saying. So, any brands I mention, good or bad, it's just because I use those brands. With the light, I do plan to elevate it a few inches once I find an elegant solution, just to kind of spread out the light distribution. The 40 breeders being 18 inches in depth, I'm hoping it will distribute the light a little better. It was a big boost in light spread when I decided a few months ago to get rid of the black strip hinge on those Aquarium glass tops. Just left a couple inches on each end to serve as a hinge. I think that looks a lot better, in terms of lighting at least. On to filtration. When I first set up the tank, I had the single AquaClear 70, but felt like I needed more filtration after I realized how heavily stocked I'd gone. You know, those Australian rainbows, they were pretty small when I got them. I didn't do a whole lot of research on how big they get, and yeah, they're pretty fat now. I ended up getting a second AquaClear 70. I should have just gone with a single AquaClear or Tidal 110, but you know, what's done is done. I do like the AquaClears. They have the big media compartment rather than the cartridges they want you to replace every month. It's quiet, so far reliable. As far as media, just some sponge material and Seachem matrix in there, and I'll occasionally add floss or other polishing pads, Purigen, whatnot, if I feel like things are looking less than pristine. But with weekly water changes, really it's not much of an issue. The heater is the Orlushy brand, pretty cheap, like 20 bucks from Amazon. It's a 200 watt. I have it connected to a heater controller, the Inkbird brand, also like 30 bucks on Amazon, which really is the best way to ensure that a cheap heater doesn't cook your fish if it fails. Or really any heater. I guess they're all prone to failure, and you really should have a controller connected to it, just in case it fails in the on position. For CO2, I have a little 5-pound cylinder here with a fairly inexpensive regulator from F-Zone. I am curious how long the 5-pound cylinder will last at the rate of injection I'm going right now. I've been running CO2 in here since October 12th, and really, I gotta say, I haven't found any downside yet. Fish are doing great. Plants are really doing great. You know, someone should bottle this stuff. The tank is, of course, from Petco. They're a $1 per gallon sale, or with a 40, it's like half off. Still, pretty good price. I also got the metal stand from Petco, and the cabinet box I just built to fit under the stand. I run air stones at night when I'm not injecting the CO2, the never clog ones from Aquarium Co-op, and they're USB pumps. Works really well for me. Alrighty, on to plants. There are so many to name. Ugh, so many big words. I like to use the common names when I can. So from the back left we have Ludwigia, Crypt, Wintii, the bronze and greens. I also have this dwarf lily. Now once I started CO2, the leaves on the lily got massive, and I'm kind of wondering whether I'll keep it in this tank or not, because I'm really digging the tiger lotus and the broad red leaves there. And I don't think I need both here. I don't know. What do you think, viewer? The carpet is Dwarf Sagittaria. Right now it's recovering from a major trim I did a couple months ago. I want to train it to grow a little lower, otherwise it just towers over the crypts. But when you do trim the leaves, they melt back, and you just have to wait for it to grow back again, hopefully a little shorter than last time. You know, patience, more patience, two things I do not have. The red sword here I got from my local fish store over a year ago. It's nice and big. Gotta trim those front leaves back every so often so it doesn't shadow all the highlight demanding plants. Moving further to the right, here's a big ass fake tree stump ornament. I'm trying to make it look a little more interesting by adding Monte Carlo. I'm hoping it'll grow vines from the top down. So far it hasn't done a whole lot. But I got the plants from two different sources. They seem to be perking up a little. I just gotta be patient. The right side of the tank mainly is my experimental area, except for the corkscrew valves. Those are doing fine. There's the Bacopa here, doing okay, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it here. The experimental stuff is the Rotala rotundifolia, Rotala indica, Rotala wallichii, Staragenda S. repens, and more pieces of Monte Carlo. And the pot here has dwarf baby tears, or sort of whatever's left. It's not happy at all. I don't really know what to do about that. The S. repens keeps getting pulled up and moved around by the Corydoras. I mean, nothing over here is doing spectacular. I'm guessing or hoping it's because these are all immersed grown plants that are gonna take a while to convert. Or maybe I already did too much damage by not transitioning them to submerged more slowly. So that's it. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, criticisms, whatever. You know, I've only been at this for a little over a year. I'm basically still a beginner. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things I guess that YouTube likes. And stay tuned for my next tank tour. Thank you.